These are the winners from my last giveaway. Winners, make sure to DM me on my Twitter, which is right here. And also, I'll be giving away another 5 bandit emotes to you guys. In order to join the giveaway, all you guys have to do is just subscribe, like the video, and comment down below. And I'll be announcing the winners in 5 days. Enjoy. Hey everyone, welcome to the very first episode of How to Master Cards. Each episode, I'll be giving you tips and show you how to play the cards in the correct way and improve your skills in the game. So without any further ado, let's jump right into it. One of the most important things that you guys have to do when you're playing miner is that you have to place your miner in the safe tiles. You guys don't have to give your opponent the king tile activation. These tiles right here are the most safest tiles that you can place your miner, and your enemy is not going to be able to NATO your miner to their king tower and activate their king. And also there's another secret place which is right here. You guys can send your miner in this tile and your enemy is not going to be able to activate their king tower, and you're going to get some really nice damage off from your miner. One of the other most important things about the miner is that you guys have to always place your miners at a different spot. Do not play your miner at the same spot multiple times because you're going to get predicted. So try to send your miners at the front or at the back of your opponent's tower to get some really nice damage, but be careful of their NATO, because if they have a NATO, they're going to activate their king tower, and if your opponent gets an activated king tower, then they can defend your miner super easily. So it's really important to not to give them the king to activation. Miner is a really great answer for the buildings and for the spawners. You can always place your miner on top of your enemy spawners, and miner is going to take care of them super easily, even though he doesn't deal a lot of damage to the princess tower, but he always deals his maximum damage to the spawners or to the buildings such as cannon, barb hut, furnace, goblin hut, and stuff like that. And also miner is a really great answer to the pump. If your enemy has a pump, always send your miner on top of the pump to take care of it and get a really nice positive elixir trait. When your enemy places their pump at the middle of the map, when you place your miner at the right hand lane, your enemy is going to see this miner animation and they're going to know that you're going to send the miner at the right hand lane. Same as the left hand lane. If you place it at the left, they're going to see the animation and they're going to know that you're going to send the miner at the left. In this position, what you have to do is to always send your miner in front of the pump to take care of it. This way, they're going to think that you're going to place the miner to the sides, but in reality, the miner is going to go in front. But be careful, if your enemy places their pump at the corner and if you send your miner, they're going to probably NATO it to the king tower. So in this position, the best thing that you have to do is to save your miner and place your spells, either poison or rocket, on top of the pump to take care of it. One of the most deadliest combo with the miner is miner wallbreakers. It basically always forces your enemy to place something on top of the wallbreakers, and wallbreakers is going to give you a lot of damage. Same as the miner spear goblins. If your enemy ignores the spear goblins, they're going to do insane amount of damage to their tower. And also, same as the miner minion horde, if your opponent's spell is out of hand, you can place your miner and predict their air troops such as wizard or firecracker at the middle, and your minion horde is going to basically take their whole tower down. Miner bats are also similar to miner minion horde, but the cheaper version and much more effective. If your enemy tries to place something in front for the bats, they can just automatically walk backwards for the miner, and the bats are going to deal a lot of damage. Miner evil skeletons are also one of the most deadliest combos. You can just basically send your miner at this tile that I did. Both of the princess towers are going to lock onto the miner, and the evil skeletons are going to connect to the princess towers, and they're going to just basically trick around your enemy if they don't have a really good card cycle or their spells in hand. Also, another tip with the miner evil skeletons is that try to predict your enemy ranged troops such as wizard, firecracker, dart goblin, bomber at the middle with your miner, so the miner locks onto that and the evil skeletons are gonna lock into your enemy tower and basically trick around them. Another thing about the miner is that you can always use him on defense as a knight. He has the same speed and almost same amount of damage and health as a knight, so he's going to be really good on defense to take care of cards like knight, valkyrie, and dark prince, and so on. Tornado is one of the most effective cards on activating the King Tower. You can activate your King Tower against a Hog Rider in this tile, and you're gonna basically activate the King Tower without getting any damage on your Princess Towers. You can activate your King Tower against an E-Wiz by placing your NATO at this tile. All you have to do is just wait for the E-Wiz to hit your tower once and then NATO it and get that King Tower activation. Against a Goblin Barrel, you can activate your King Tower by placing your Tornado at this tile. Of course, there's a lot of placement that you can do for the Goblin Barrel, but this is one of the most typical placements. If your enemy places his knight at the back of his King Tower, basically at the inner tile, you can wait for the knight to reach to your Princess Tower and then place your NATO at this tile. Once the knight got a hit on top of your tower, you can release your NATO and get that King Tower activation. This can be really useful against splasher decks. Against Skeleton Barrel, you can place your Tornado at this tile to get the King Tower activation. All you have to do is just wait a little bit and then release your NATO. This way you're not going to get any damage on top of your Princess Towers and you're going to get that nice King Tower activation. Against Wall Breakers, you can place your NATO at this tile, but you have to wait for the Wall Breakers to reach at this tile. It's quite difficult to pull this interaction, but with a little bit of training, you're going to learn this super easily. Against Goblin Barrel, you can also activate your King Tower at the same tile as the Wall Breakers and the Hog Rider. All you have to do is just wait a little bit and pull your NATO at this tile and you're going to just basically get that King Tower activation. Against Mini P.E.K.K.A, you can also activate your King Tower at the same tile as the Goblin Brawler, which I showed previously. You can just put your NATO at this tile just to wait a little bit for the Mini P.E.K.K.A to get closer and get that King Tower activation. Against Baby Dragon, you can activate your King Tower by placing your NATO at this tile, but you also need a ranged troop like a Magic Archer, but you have to place it at this tile in front of your King Tower, so the Baby Dragon splashes on top of your King Tower and get that King Tower activation. It's really useful against splasher decks. Activating the King Tower against a Lumberjack is also quite easy. All you have to do is just put your NATO at this tile, just wait a little bit until the Lumberjack is close to the Princess Tower, and activate your King. Against the Ghost, you can also activate your King Tower by placing your Tornado same tile as a Lumberjack, but all you have to do is just wait a little bit for the Ghost to get closer. Sometimes the Ghost might get a hit on top of your Princess Tower, but you can activate your King Tower anyway. Against a Balloon, you can also activate your King Tower. What you have to do is just wait for the Balloon to get closer to your Princess Tower, be ready with your Tornado at this placement, and also wait for the Balloon to get a hit on top of your Princess Tower, then Tornado it and get that King Tower activation. You can also activate your King Tower against a Bowler by placing your troop at this tile and then NATOing the Bowler into that troop. This way you're going to get that King Tower activation, and also this is really helpful against Giant Graveyard decks and also Lumberjack Balloon decks. Against Executioner, you can also activate the King Tower by placing your troop at this tile and then NATOing the Executioner into your troop. This way the Executioner axe is going to hit the King Tower and activate it. You can also use your NATO with the Expo. You can NATO your opponent troops off to the Expo range and lock your Expo into their tower. It's really helpful, and also here's another example where you can NATO your opponent troops off to the side to get your Expo locked onto their tower. You can also use the NATO with the mortar. You can NATO your enemy troops off to the side to get your mortar locked onto the tower. You can also use your NATO on defense with the Evil Firecracker. Evil Firecracker NATO is also one of the best combos which you can use on defense, especially against the lava pushes, to defend their pushes super easily. You can play your Goblin Door on top of your opponent's tower, and once they place something on top of it, you can either NATO the enemy troop off to the side to get damage, or go for the Firecracker at the bridge and NATO the enemy troop backwards to get some more Firecracker chip. You can also use your NATO with the Magic Archer to get a really nice lineup on top of your enemy Princess Tower. This is really frustrating and really useful combo. If your enemy plays a lot of troops on top of your Giant Skeleton, all you have to do is just NATO all of them together into the Giant Skeleton Death Bomb and get a really nice value. You can also use the NATO on defense with an Executioner to defend your enemy pushes, especially against the Lava Hound. Executioner plus NATO is one of the best combos to defend the Lava Hound pushes. You can also use the NATO with your Ice Wiz on defense. It's a really useful combo and it's really useful to deal with your enemy swarm units. You can also pull your enemy troops into the middle and then kite them with a knight. This way both of the towers are going to hit the troops and take them down super easily. One of the most important things that you need to know about the Firecracker is that she does almost the same amount of damage as a Hog Rider hit. You can fully counter the wall breakers by placing your Firecracker at this placement. This way she's going to hit both of the wall breakers and counter them. Goblin Drill plus Firecracker is also one of the best combos. You can go for your Goblin Drill in front of your opponent's tower and then place your Firecracker at the bridge to get damage on top of their tower. Same as the Hog Rider, you can place your Hog Rider at the bridge, and when your enemy plays something on top of it, you can just play your Firecracker at the bridge and get some really nice damage. But be careful to let your Firecracker die. If the enemy troop is coming towards your Firecracker, do not protect her and let her die, and here is why. And here I'm going to go for my Hog Rider and then I'm going to play my Firecracker at the bridge on top of my enemy's knight to get damage, but I am going to protect my Firecracker with my own knight. Basically what's going to happen is the Firecracker is going to stay alive and my enemy is going to first of all activate his King Tower, and then he's going to get a really big counter push going on, which is going to be pretty much difficult to stop for you. If your enemy is trying to make a really big push and they have arrows in their deck, you can place your Firecracker at the back, let them arrow it, and then you can cycle back yourself to another Firecracker. In here, I'm going to go for my Cannon, Log, and then Ice Spirit, and basically I'm back to another Firecracker, which is going to be really frustrating for my opponent to deal with, and I'm going to just protect her and get a lot of value out of her. As I said, Evil Firecracker is really good against lava, especially on taking down the lava support troops. All you have to do is just place your Evil Firecracker, and then also if you have a NATO, it's going to be a lot better to take care of the lava pushes. You can fully counter a balloon with the bomb tower. All you have to do is just put your bomb tower at this placement and fully counter the balloon. It's going to be also one positive elixir trade for you. You can also fully counter the pigs by placing your bomb tower at this style. Bomb tower by itself, it's really good against the pigs, but if your opponent has earthquake, then bomb tower is not going to be enough alone. And here, as you guys can see, my enemy played as earthquake and the pigs are going to just stay alive and get a lot of damage. So in this case, what you have to do is always place your log on top of the pigs. This way the bomb tower is going to be able to fully counter them. You can also fully counter the E-Giant with your bomb tower. All you have to do is just place your bomb tower at this tile to fully counter the E-Giant. But if your enemy has lightning, make sure to place your bomb tower at this tile. This way they're not going to be able to hit the tower and the bomb tower with their lightning. And you can play your goblin to take care of the E-Giant. You can also fully counter a Hog Rider by placing your bomb tower at this placement. Even though if they have an earthquake, you can also fully counter the bomb tower by placing at the same tile again. This way both of the towers are going to target the Hog Rider and the Hog Rider is not going to get any damage. Bomb Tower by itself is unfortunately not enough to counter a Royal Giant. So alongside the Bomb Tower, you need another card like Bats, Goblins, Guards, Skeletons, Spear Goblins to DPS down the RG. In here, I'm going to play my Bomb Tower and then I'm going to play my Goblins on top of the RG. This way the RG is going to get countered super easily. Another really quick tip about the Bomb Tower is that Bomb Tower by itself is not enough against the Expo, so you basically need another card such as Log to take care of the Expo and counter it fully. You can counter Spear Goblins by waiting for one of the Spear Goblins to connect to your tower and placing your Ice Spirit. Ice Spirit can also fully counter an Ice Wiz. All you have to do is just place your Ice Spirit at this tile and get that 2 positive elixir trade. If your enemy places their miner and you cannot predict it, all you have to do is just place your Ice Spirit to retarget it and play your troop to fully counter the miner. If your enemy goes for a miner bats push, you can place your Ice Spirit at this tile for the bats. This way the Ice Spirit is gonna fully counter the bats and you can take care of the miner with your troops. You can also fully counter an E-Wiz by your Ice Spirit. All you have to do is just place the Ice Spirit at this tile and he's gonna fully counter the E-Wiz for 3 positive elixir traits. You can also fully counter a Fisherman with your Ice Spirit. All you have to do is just place the Ice Spirit in this tile and counter the Fisherman for 2 positive elixir traits. You can also use your Ice Spirit to tank for your Goblin Barrel. This way the goblins from the Goblin Barrel are gonna deal an insane amount of damage to your enemy Princess Tower. You can also use your Ice Spirit to tank for your Hog Rider. This way the Ice Spirit is gonna tank for a little bit of while and freeze the tower. This way the Hog Rider is gonna deal an insane amount of damage and almost take your opponent's tower. Ice Spirit can also fully counter a Skarmy. All you have to do is just place your Ice Spirit up here and then he's gonna take care of some of the Skarmy skeletons and your tower is gonna finish off the rest. If your enemy places his Mortar at the inner tile, all you have to do is just place your Ice Spirit in this tile to counter the Magic Culture and also activate your King Tower. And if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to like and sub, and also make sure to comment down below which card you want to see me give you tips about it in the next part. Peace.